You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the April 14th meeting for the Long Beach Town Council. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Recording in progress.
Welcome everyone to the Town Council meeting, Long Beach, April 14th. Let's please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Meg, could you please take roll call?
President Joy Schmidt.
Here.
Anita Remigis.
Here.
Kendra Bartlett.
Here.
Colleen Lane.
Here.
Cindy Levy.
Here.
And then Chief Swister.
Present.
Attorney Willoughby.
Present.
Clerk Collins, I am present. That concludes roll.
Thank you. My only opening remarks is I would like to add to the agenda a new business, the Falatovics invoice for the leaf removal for 2024.
Can I add to your opening remarks?
Yes.
So Joy is having some hearing issues, and so if you could all speak up. So you might see me writing little notes to her, but I'm not talking about any of you. I'm just reminding her about things.
I didn't hear that, but thanks. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the council meeting of March 10th, 2025.
So moved. I move to approve the minutes from April 14, 2025.
All second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Any public comments? They'll be limited to 3 minutes.
To the podium.
Okay. You can ask Chief Swister. No.
We like surprises.
It's not a surprise.
I know it's not.
Push the button and-
You're good.
You're good.
I'm Becky Lipton, I live at 3016 North Moore Trail. My house is actually on Long Road Stop 31. And I was going to come today and talk to you about Moore Road traffic, which is something I've been working on with neighbors in Michigan City side Moore Road and in Long Beach for ages. But something came up today, this morning, I saw a presentation, so I actually have 2 topics. So let me start with the new topic first, if that's all right. And that is, I heard a presentation about a guy named Cal Bellamy today, who's with something called Shared Ethics Advisory Commission. It's Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties. And they provide ethics training to employees of counties and municipalities in our region. And they had great participation in Lake County and Porter County, and not much participation in LaPorte County except for the county itself. And the municipality joins. The fee is nominal for a municipality that has less than 50 employees. It's $500 enrollment and then $187.50 a year. And they provide ethics training to public and municipality employees. They do training, the trainer sessions, so they have municipal employees that they send out after training to do this training with employees. And they hold a public meeting about it once a year as well. And it seems really a good thing, and it seems like with all that mess that happened about 5 or 6 years ago with the planning, the building permit and everything in that house at 3108 Lakeshore Drive, I can't remember, with all that stuff that went on. And the town of Long Beach ended up with a lot of legal bills on that score, so it might be something for you guys to consider. I brought a couple of their handouts, I'll just give them to you guys. Maybe I can give them to you and you can maybe pass them around. Okay, but it sounds really pretty good. So I would urge you guys to consider it. Okay, now I'm gonna get back to my bugaboo, which is more road, no sidewalks, no stop sign between US 12 and Lakeshore Drive. It's used by contractors, equipment, large equipment. It's used by delivery trucks, all kinds of working people. And then in the summertime, we get a lot of traffic with all the Airbnb type people and also neighbors who, for one reason or other, are speeding along there. We've asked, we've had some good cooperation from Chief Swistek and from the Michigan City Police in that they put those radar speed signs up occasionally over the years. But the problem is, of course, that Stop 31 is where the whole Shoreland Hills community uses, that's their beach stop, and so everybody goes there. There are a lot of those Airbnbs there, and people with large families walk along the road, no sidewalks, nothing. Duneland Beach Drive, which is the next big street over, big for our area, street over, has four stop signs between US 12 and Lakeshore Drive.
Okay,
Okay, the contract.
3 minutes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I have my amended version of our printout, our pitch, I guess,
Sure.
that my neighbor, Eileen Westerkamp, who lives on the Michigan City side of the road, and I put together. And I have 4 copies of that. I'll give it to you, and maybe you can pass them out and people can look at it. And I know I've had some good interest from the new town council members for the last year, so hopefully we can work together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comment. Any more comments from the audience?
John Brennan. I know some here, grew up with some here, and others in my home.
What's your address, John?
My mother's address is 1818 Lakeshore Drive, Long Beach.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, step 19. Again, here helping her as my sisters are generally as well. I think most of you know my father, remember my father Mike passed away a couple of years ago. And I was happy to see that CM moving on Lakeshore Drive properties is included on the agenda tonight. For roughly 30, 35 years, we, among a few homeowners adjacent to each other between stops 18 and 19, have plowed to get drainage relief, open up the holes that are in the seawalls along that stretch. In order to allow, drainage out, starts up across the way and up the dune, and comes through the property. The way they used to do that, everybody's probably familiar with, was talking to the DNR, making sure things were okay there first, before working out how to do that. I think usually in conjunction with the town. And then, per the DNR's prescription, plowing the sand back into the lake. I know things have changed in the community over the last number of years, and of course, following 100 years of lake levels, 50 years on my own, or 70 years in one case, and a lot of people here have seen things, come and go pretty dramatically. I've never seen the sand climb the walls like we're experiencing with this particular trough right now, at least not at Stop 19. So I'm glad to hear it, see it on the agenda. I just need your help and counsel on how to navigate how this is possible, and if it is possible, so that we can get some relief from a drainage standpoint with that stretch of homes between 18 and 19.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Any more comments from the audience? Any comments on Zoom? Seeing none, we'll move on to committee reports. Police Department, Chief Swistek.
Good evening. For the month of March, the Long Beach Police Department responded to a total of 414 calls for service when compared to 417 in the previous year, for a slight decrease of 3 calls for service. During the month, 16 incident reports were documented. A total of 15 individuals were arrested. 1 felony arrest for theft of a motor vehicle. 1 felony arrest for dealing marijuana. 1 felony arrest for possession of marijuana. 2 felony arrests for operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated. 2 misdemeanor arrests for dealing in marijuana. 2 misdemeanor arrests for possession of marijuana, 1 misdemeanor arrest for operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated, 1 misdemeanor arrest for reckless driving, 1 misdemeanor arrest for operating a motor vehicle without ever receiving a driver's license, and 2 misdemeanor arrests for driving on a suspended driver's license. And then lastly, 1 warrant arrest for felony neglect of a dependent. You may ask why so many marijuana arrests. I can easily answer that question for you. The state of Michigan and New Buffalo has numerous dispensaries. For example, yesterday afternoon, Corporal Matthew Farthing was on routine patrol on Lakeshore Drive. Stop 21, he observes a vehicle partially in the roadway, partially off of the roadway. Caught his attention, tried to run the license plates on it. The plates did not come back. The vehicle was unoccupied, so he gets out, checks the vehicle. The driver intentionally had something covering the VIN in the dash, so we couldn't run the VIN either. So he sat up the block, waited for the occupants to come back. One was down walking on our beach, and then the other one was at a nearby house. And they had just left one of the dispensaries in New Buffalo, and in the back seat, he could clearly see from the floorboard up to as high as the center console was full with several thousands of dollars of marijuana in the car. Yes, it is legal to purchase in the state of Michigan. It is illegal to possess and or use in the state of Indiana. So we've been seeing more and more people as they leave New Buffalo traveling through our area. Our officers are encountering these individuals during traffic stops. A lot of this marijuana that's being sold in Michigan is very potent. You can honestly smell it as soon as you walk up to the driver's window. It doesn't even have to be burning inside the vehicle. It's easily detected. So this is the reason for these arrests is obviously it's people outside of our community. So I don't think a single one of these was a Long Beach resident that was arrested. Other than that, there is nothing of major concern to pass along. We're beginning to get ready for our busy summer months. Obviously, the month of May begins to ramp up for us, and it usually runs through November, so we're ready for that. And unless there's any questions on the police department report, I can move on to the police commission.
Last month you mentioned that you're not sitting and waiting for people. I think that's what's important too, that they're not residents, is that you're not just sitting, you're watching people run stop signs, run lights, do things that get your attention, and then find that Long Beach is not a community that's just sitting on the side of the road waiting for
Correct.
the Michigan-Indiana border.
There's no profiling whatsoever. I mean, we're coming across these in traffic stops, and as was the case yesterday, the vehicle, if it was legally parked, it probably wouldn't even caught our attention. But it was in the roadway partially, and our officers did a great job of checking on it and following up. That's what we want our officers to do on patrol when they're in the neighborhoods and that. So I'm very proud of the work that they're doing currently. The Police Commission, we met on Thursday, March 20th for our quarterly meeting. I'll just briefly go through a summarization. We talked about the new public safety facility, that the septic system is up and running 100% with no issues at this time. 2024 year in review for the police department. I'll give you a brief summary on that. We responded to 4,575 calls for service last year when compared to 3,218 calls in the previous year, for an increase of 1,357 calls for service. When I look at those, a lot of those I attribute to the 2 new deputies that we hired a year ago. They're both very young and aggressive officers that we hired, one from the LaPorte County Sheriff's Department and the other one from the Westville Police Department. And their traffic enforcement, their numbers are up. So they're making stops for speeding and rolling through stop signs and that. So a lot of our increase was at that and medical calls. We've been running more medical calls recently as well. We arrested 77 individuals in 2024 when compared to 58 the previous year. I updated everybody at the commission as far as Deputy Vopat and Deputy Disbro. Both of them, again, our new deputies are doing exceptionally well. We have been completing a lot of our training in the winter months so that we're not spending time doing our mandated in-service training in the summer. So we've completed the majority of that. We just picked up our 2025 Yamaha Beach ATV unit. Part of that unit, half of it was paid by the Long Beach Civic, so a big thank you to Long Beach Civic. And then the other half was paid for out of the police department's general operating budget. Our 2025 Dodge Durango for Sergeant Seitz has been manufactured by Dodge and is on its way to LaPorte Chrysler. We should receive that sometime this month. Our administrative assistant, Kayla Shablowski, was hired. She is doing an excellent job. She's been with us since September 16th of last year. We talked about summer of 2025. Our preparations are going well. We talked about the golf cart permits are now available at either the police department or the clerk's office. That's a $100 permit. It's good for 2 years, expiring at the end of December of 2026. And just a reminder that anyone that operates a golf cart has to be a licensed driver and has to be 16 years of age or older. And then under the commissioner comments, both commissioners Megan Applegate and Colleen Lane mentioned safety concerns on Chastleton Drive at the hill at Oriole Trail. As you are coming north on Chastleton and making the left onto Oriole, the concerns of vehicles that are traveling on Chastleton heading south sometimes can be difficult when individuals are exceeding the speed limit through there. So I've already reached out to the superintendent of streets, Tom Dolph, and we're discussing any recommendations there. So that's all I have from a police commission aspect.
Thank you. Town administrator. Chief.
So on the town side, employee performance appraisals have all been completed. They have been turned into the clerk treasurer's office to be filed in the individual employee files. And I'm happy to report that there are no concerns with any of the employee appraisals. So we're very pleased on how those turned out. It was a great coaching moment and allowed some feedback with the employees to their department heads as well for some growth in the town. Our fire hydrants, you may have noticed, are currently undergoing painting. In previous years, we've always done this in-house. Our water department has done a great job, but we realized that when we did it in-house, we weren't able to get the old paint off. And every year they kept compounding and putting new paint on top of the old paint, and then just taking a wire brush and cleaning them. So we hired a company that literally comes in with a device that goes on top of them and sandblasts the entire fire hydrant and then paints it a nice bright yellow, which is the industry recommended color, and they look almost new when they're done. So we started down at stop 13. We are working our way to the east. We will only complete half of the fire hydrants this year and then the other half next year. It's a 2-year program, and the funds are all coming out of the Fire Protection Fund. And also at the same time, we are putting new markers on the hydrants so they're more easily identified by both the fire department and in winter conditions. Town facilities, the community center, the new copper gutters are going up. That's from the insurance claim from the May 7th storm last year from the hail damage. Those should be completed by next week. The park across the street, the irrigation has been repaired. Tomorrow they will be raking and seeding the entire park area. The mulch gardens have been cleaned and mulched. A big thank you to our street superintendent, Tom Dolph, for all his work over there. Also to Janice Brown and Ellen Lynch for all of their work and input on both the park project and the town hall project. And then you may have noticed on your way in tonight at the town sign, river rock has been placed all the way around there. We could never get anything to grow underneath the pine trees, so Janice recommended putting river rock in there. It was a great idea and it looks beautiful. Town hall landscaping here, we put the sod in today. Tomorrow the remainder of the plants and the rock will go in out front. And then, other than painting the lights on the walkway coming up to the town hall is in pretty good shape for this year. The irrigation system needed quite a bit of repair. That was completed on Friday, and the irrigation system is back to 100%. Vehicles, I just wanted to share, I know I just briefed you on the 2025 Durango's on its way. The importance of getting the vehicles, not only for the police department, but the other town departments as well. We have been experiencing issues with our 2020 Ford Explorers. We're not the only police department. In the last month, we had one of our 2020s, we have 3 of them. One of our 2020s had both axles go out, had a $1,000 repair. And then last week, another one of our 2020 Ford Explorers had both axles, both control arms and seals on the front go out. It's sitting at LaPorte Ford currently with $3,818 in repairs. So it just kind of shows that these police vehicles, they undergo a lot of wear and tear items, how important it is in that 6 to 8 year window to replace them. So obviously our 2020s are really suffering right now, but we are getting them repaired, put back online, and hopefully they'll hold together at least for a couple more years. CCMG updates, I just lastly want to talk about the paving project. Please be patient with us. Look on the website. On the website you will see updates for the construction timeline. These are tentative dates. If we say that we're working on Avondale on April 15th, we're going to do our best to be there, but it may not be till the 16th that we get there. And I'm going to do my best to make sure that we're updating you on the town's website. We'll be pushing out mass emails as well. So if you don't subscribe to the town's website for the newsletters and the emails, please do so. We had a CCMG meeting this morning. They have a lot of stormwater work to do, which is all the work underground, underneath the pavement. That's putting in dry wells, catch basins, everything to catch all the rainwater. That work will not be completed to probably the end of May. So probably the earliest we will see asphalt going down will be sometime in June. And the goal is to have the entire $1.73 million paving project completed by July 4th. And they also know that they cannot work around Memorial Day and also around July 4th in case they're not completed. So please call us. I've had people call already saying I'm getting furniture delivered or refrigerator delivered. We will let you know as best as we can. But we're always going to let you into your driveway. You're never going to be locked out of your home. I can assure you of that. So that's all I have for updates. I got more to come later.
Oh, thank God.
Volunteer Fire Department, Dave.
I'll speak very loud, Joy. Silently.
Appreciate it, Dave.
This is a report for the first 3 months of 2025. On the fire side, we stand at 14 calls. That's comparison to 19 the year before. It was a quiet month, and that's a good thing. Most of the calls were in Long Beach. We did have mutual aid for a property in Doolin that has had frequent false alarms. The type, we had a hazardous condition, which I'm not sure if it was a gas leak or carbon monoxide. Then we had 5 false alarms. The average turnout per call still stands at 8, which is good. Medical side, we're at 27 calls this year compared to 21 last year. All the calls have been in Long Beach. We had 3 calls for a sick person. We had a automobile accident. And this, I must have missed a number, but our average turnout for medical on each call stands at 5 also. That's been this number we've been experiencing. The average response time for our fire calls is 4.26 minutes. Medical is 4.09. And I'd like to make a comment when Mark was giving his report that you're seeing a little more call numbers because the police are responding to the medical side. And as a 40-year member of our department, I can't thank you enough for letting your officers be there. It's noticeable, it's helpful, and it builds tremendous goodwill. So thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
And that concludes my report.
Can I ask you two things?
Fire Commission? You have a comment?
I was not in attendance. I'm gonna start going so I can be able to talk about it, but
Cindy said she was.
You want to report?
Cindy can probably give it,
The only thing I remember is we appointed Brian
Right.
Canyar
Right.
I heard that, so that's,
as a commission member.
It was a very short meeting, but we did agree to appoint Brian Canyar to the commission, so he'll be joining.
I'm just going to insert myself into those meetings, so when you ask that question, do you have a fire commission report, Dave, I can answer it, so.
I'll-
I had two comments. One is, again, the false alarms. They just continue to be, they pull everybody out from what you have to do. And I know we've talked about it the last few months, and I think you had a couple of things that maybe people could do or check or something, but you have to respond no matter what.
Absolutely. And Anita, it comes down to, we use the term frequent flyers. If we have a resident that is a frequent flyer as far as the number of calls, I know the town, there's a town ordinance where fees or fines, can be assessed to the homeowner on a progressive basis. Even when I was chief, I don't think we ever used that. But it is amazing the number of false alarms. But most of these they're not in the high frequency numbers. So as you said, we have to respond.
Yeah, and do you remember, I know we looked at it, is it 3 a month, 4 a month? In the 30-day period?
We pulled that ordinance, right, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's not as many, or
Right.
as low as you would think before it even gets triggered.
And then addresses, have you come across any trouble or problems, or I know that's been an ongoing thing that you've mentioned in the newsletter. I'm just curious if you've had, that people still need to put addresses on their houses, their garages, their mailboxes, so just a reminder.
We as a fire, and thank you for that, we as a fire department, we'll notice some of the addresses, lack of or significant, display. But to me, I have not seen a big improvement. But that's just me driving around. But I've seen some that are spectacular, and I wish everyone would say, be like Mr. Jones.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Public Works, Kendra?
Public Works met, I was not there, Mark was, but I have the minutes to update everybody. I was out of town. So Mark updated everybody on the paving issues. And other than that, I think the salt barn, we're still looking at that we need a salt barn. So Mark said they're going to reach out to some contractors to bid on that project and hopefully get that going for summer or fall. We've got leaf pickup starting April 21st, which hopefully that will coincide with before any paving gets done. I know Tom said they're going to do a pass through before any paving gets started to help with that. So get those leaves out with no sticks in them as a reminder. Public Works is now going to meet quarterly instead of monthly, so June 24th will be the next meeting. The booster station over on Moore Road and is that Montclair? I don't know what that street is, I forget. But a fence is gonna go up there around that booster station. It's pretty unsightly, but it's all we have to, it is what it is. And also some gravel for parking. And the fire hydrants, about half the fire hydrants are gonna be sandblasted and painted in April or May of this year. Water rate study, we're still waiting. Cinder and Associates are working on giving us some advice on what our water water rate increase should be. We have not had an increase in forever, and we're gonna be looking at one, so we're waiting for feedback, from Senator and Associates on that. Greg and Austin and the water department have been doing some continuing education and finished 3 classes and have another one coming up too. And I think that's it.
Thank you. Park Board, Kendra.
Was out of town for this one too. So I believe, Paul?
Paul's
is-
online.
Well, Paul, chime in if you want, but I do know I talked to Zach, so we've got, the most important thing, beach cleanup. The park board organized a great beach cleanup, and it's gonna be the weekend after this Saturday, so that is 26th, yep, Saturday the 26th. And we'll be publicizing that, and there's stuff on Facebook about that, and Zach and Paul and everyone always do a great job publicizing that as well, so just go out when you can. I know, Mark, you've already, we're gonna have the dumpster up top at 24, right? Instead of the streets departments and even the police, and you've always been out there, Mark, helping too. We always collect all the stuff, leave it on the beach, or bring it up to the stops, and then Tom has to then put it in the trucks and then bring it to the maintenance department. And it's, this will be a much better solution. So Mark organized a dumpster to be right at the top of 24. So any large items, the ATVs, the street department and police will be down there to help with those. And then you just come out at your leisure anytime that day. There'll be bags out, help pick up trash and all the big items out there. We usually get out early in the morning, so that's the best time. And then Stop 29, some work at rebuilding that boardwalk. So they're gonna be looking to, work with some contractors on getting those bids. So any contractors, anyone has that might be interested, send our way to the park board. Or send their way, I should say. Oh, here's Paul. You wanna add something, Paul?
I think I was going to add is in other exciting news, our replacement bench has arrived. So we'll get that installed in the next couple weeks, and we'll be back to 2 benches at Stop 24, where the one was damaged in the crash a while ago, and then the new one at Stop 21, and then we'll be back to normal from that auto incident from before.
And then just that, Kendra, I know you mentioned that leaf pickup is the 21st or the 25th, but people should have their leaves out by no later than Sunday night. So when the trucks make their pass through, they're out there.
That's it for me. That's it.
Thank you. Community Center, Anita.
The community center management team met April 7th. It was a quick meeting. Mark already talked about the copper gutters. Room 3 improvements is further on in the agenda. The ADA bathroom is nearing completion. Discussion of just leases and status. The only room that is now available is room 3, which is why we have improvements on the agenda. Just general discussion of the front of the community center. There has been work there with the planters, some other things. So there's different phases. The community center is looking to attack the planters, the front walls, the main entry. We're considering putting in some LVP, luxury vinyl plank flooring in the front areas to eliminate the whole carpet when you're coming in, and put up some durable rugs for inclement weather. And also part of our capital plan is hopefully new carpeting soon in the entire community center. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Budget and Finance, Meg.
Budget and Finance did not meet in March. And we had an entrance conference held March 20th with the State Board of Accounts for a 5-year audit covering the years of 2020 to 2024. And council will be updated as the audit progresses. Financials will be prepared for the May meeting, and we will begin discussing the budget process. The next meeting is scheduled for May 6th at 11 a.m. And then I'll do Human Resources next if there are no questions on the budget. Human Resources also did not meet in March. And we meet this Wednesday at 1:30 PM to continue work on the handbook. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Tree Board, Ellen.
We didn't meet this, so there's nothing to report.
Okay, thank you. The Building Commission met on 3/14/25. Permits approved, 3028 Mayfield Way for landscaping and a pool, 2914 Lakeshore Drive for a new home, 2804 Lindale Way for a new garage, 1908 Lakeshore Drive for a new deck, 2611 Roslyn Trail for remodeling. Permits denied, there were none. And the Building Commission voted to pass the parking ordinance amendments onto the APC. Any questions? The BZA met on 3/12/25. They had a preliminary hearing for 3028 Mayfield Way. The BZA's opinion was that a variance was not needed and made that recommendation to the Building Commission. And that was the first permit that was approved on 3/14. And the Building Commission actually meets again tomorrow. Public Safety Building at 1 o'clock. APC, Anita?
The Advisory Plan Commission did not meet, but just a reminder that we've come to an agreement with McKenna, and our town attorney made a few revisions to the McKenna Professional Services Agreement. McKenna will be the firm that will be handling the work on the update of the 2016 Comprehensive Plan. So we're just waiting for approval and signature, and work will start on the timeline of the update to the comprehensive plan, and it will involve community involvement. We'll have a public meeting, there will be surveys, so there will be a timeline coming out in a letter. I just don't know exactly when. We're hoping at our April meeting a week from tonight that we can start to kind of figure out some details and talk to the person who's in charge, who's working with us.
Thank you. Building revenue report. Meg?
Did we do the BZA? Oh, we did.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks. Building revenue report, there were 34 permits issued totaling $3,411,649, with revenue of $37,430. There were 5 electric permits issued totaling $876, and 1 street cut permit with revenue of $100. Legal expenses paid in March to Frazier, Nelson and Jones were $6,687.50. Accounting charges paid to Sender and Company were $330, and the lobbyist, the Corrigan Group, was paid $13,500. And I would ask for a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Under unfinished business, we have committee and board openings. Scott Pop has agreed to be on budget and finance. Brian Canier was appointed to the fire commission by the fire commission. Anita, I believe you're talking to someone who might be interested in the APC position. So that leaves us just with an opening on the building commission. So Meg, I think we should advertise for that one, and I'll give you a little blurb of what's involved, and
That'd be great.
we'll get that on the website.
Okay. And would you like it just on the website and not an email blast? We could do either.
I can't hear you.
Would you like an email blast as well, or not yet?
Sure, I'm fine with that. Is that what we usually do?
We can, so we.
Okay.
yeah, just.
Let me talk to the building commission tomorrow and see.
Okay. And I can talk to Mark.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Under new business, the SciTech project update. I'll read the notice they sent to me. The start of site work was to begin on Monday, March 24th, 2025. Specifically, the installation of groundwater, for everyone's benefit, we're talking about Moon Valley, SciTech back there, groundwater problem. They're supposed to be cleaning it up for the past several years, and they keep updating us on their project. Installation of groundwater recovery wells will be the first phase of the work. This is anticipated to last for approximately 4 weeks. Civil construction activities, which include the installation of piping and the treatment equipment, as well as construction of the operations building, are expected to start in late April or early May 2025 and extend into 2026. During the construction period, they'll adhere to the city ordinances. It all lies in Michigan City, although they do have a couple of testing wells in Long Beach, which allows construction between the hours of 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Once construction is completed, the system will be tested to ensure it is operational and performing as designed. Long-term operation and monitoring will begin after the startup to confirm the system continues to operate as designed, to remove metals from the groundwater through the water treatment process and settling, which is much like a water treatment system. And they will continue to keep us updated as they progress. Any questions? It's just an update for everybody. So they email me every once in a while. Leaf collection dates.
The proposal that is before the council is for $5,000 for 1 week of leaf collection, presented to us from Healy's Landscaping. He has not raised the price in over 5 years, so the price has stayed the same as previous years. The collection dates will be that week of April 21st through the 25th. As indicated earlier, all leaves must be out to the roadway, at the edge of the roadway by April 20th. And again, I cannot stress enough, I can think of at least a dozen homes that we will not be picking up the leaves because of the strong winds in recent weeks. I'm seeing logs, literally branches in the leaf piles. We cannot pick those piles up. Every year when our leaf bags go down, it's because we suck up large limbs that are embedded in the leaves and that. So when this happens, then everyone else in the town suffers. So we're just gonna have to pass some of these homes up, and then I'll have to reach out to the homeowners, and it'll be their responsibility to hire a landscaping company to come in and remove them. So I cannot stress enough, you cannot put sticks or limbs in your leaf piles. So.
And you did provide an alternative, right, in the email blast?
We did.
Right, there was an alternative that people can use, so thank you.
So I just need approval to accept the contract for $5,000 for the 1 week of leaf pickup.
I would move to approve the invoice for Healy's to $5,000 for the spring leaf pickup. We have a second for discussion?
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Police Department financing of 2025 Dodge Durango loan proposal.
As discussed earlier, last fall, the council approved the purchase of our 2025 Dodge Durango for the Patrol Division. The amount to be financed is $49,541.88. That is after they deduct the $7,500 trade for our 2016 unit that was traded in. The council was sent 2 proposals, one from Crossroads Bank. The terms 5 years at 4.75%. They had a documentation fee of $350. The second proposal is Horizon Bank for 5 years at 5.12%. And they have a $150 documentation fee. After some additional negotiating with them, they will waive the $150 documentation fee. It would be my recommendation, although slightly higher of an interest rate, it would cost us roughly in the term of the loan about $153 more. I would recommend that we stay with our current hometown bank, which is Horizon Bank. That's currently where we have a lot of our CDs invested in the town's funds. But that would be my recommendation to the council. I just need direction as to which bank you would like to proceed with the loan documentation, and then asking the president to have the authority to go ahead and execute that loan sometime this month.
I would make a recommendation to follow Chief's recommendation, to you go with the Horizon Bank loan. Do we have a second for discussion?
I would second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Police Department Policy Number 28, golf cart permit process for 2025-2026.
A few weeks ago, I shared with the council members the policy as it pertains to our golf cart permit process. In previous years, since 2021, when we first started the permitting process for golf carts, we had a sort of an informal policy as to how we deal with the process. I have now condensed it to writing to include a document that the Long Beach Country Club would sign annually whenever we issue permits to them. They then assist us by issuing the permits to their members who pay the cart fees. This way we have a better tracking mechanism in place. And then it would also be a recommendation that the council consider a possible resolution using this policy as well, so we can memorialize this in writing for future reference as well. So I just wanted to get it before you tonight for any discussion and or approval, and to move it forward in the process.
I would make a motion to move it forward.
Second, I would second that.
Any discussion?
Madam President, would that include directing, I guess, the town attorney for a resolution as well, or?
Yes.
Okay, very good, thank you.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Sand moving on Lakeshore Drive properties. The reason this is on the agenda is because we'd like to set up a date for a workshop. This is becoming a bigger and bigger problem for a lot of people on Lakeshore Drive. And when we developed our Lakeshore Protection Ordinance, we had the opposite problem. All the sand was leaving. And so now we have a lot of residents that are coming to us like, what can we do? So it was suggested by John Wall that we set up a workshop. I'd like to include John and Larry Wall and Carter, our building inspector, and Lakeshore Drive residents that are interested. I'd like to include also some landscaping companies that maybe can talk to us about moving sand, or how you do that, or how do we get over the four dunes, or, you know, what do we have to do? Also include Bob LeMay. So, and since it'll be a workshop, anyone in the council can come. And we just need to talk about it and see, you know, what are the options? What can we do? The dunes are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They're forming a four dune. And it's getting covered with dune grass. That doesn't help the residents the sand is caving in their fences and that kind of stuff. So we all need to get together and talk about that. So we will, I have your guys' name, and I know where you guys live, so we'll talk to some people at Lakeshore Drive, come up with a date that we can all get together and talk about it, and come up with some kind of solution.
Happy to be a resource with the experience over the years with you know, that property. And I would add Bruce Woodruff to the list of contractors.
Yeah, can you come up to the...
Oh, sure, sorry, yeah. I don't know if it's appropriate or not. Yeah, again, if I can serve as a resource with the experience over the years at 1818 Lakeshore, with what we've done, you know, before and after changes to ordinances and how things are done here, let me know. Bruce Woodruff, I can also suggest as a contractor who would perhaps be part of all of this as well, because we've leveraged.
Yeah, I would love to have Bruce there.
Yeah.
Just for, how it looks. I would like to have other landscapers that can do the job there as well.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, we definitely know it's something we need to talk about.
Yeah, I've preliminarily been in touch with Larry and Bruce, and yeah, I'm happy for the workshop. One more thing I'd add, though, hopefully it happens soon, only because we have a season where the beach will be very busy soon.
Yes.
So that's if we're going to do it before the season, there's a bit of a sense of urgency. So
That's the goal.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Weaver Consultants Group, proposal for construction monitoring and material testing for CCMG Street Improvement Project, $9,325.
I would make a motion to go ahead and...
I'll second for discussion. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Haas and Associates invoice number 9, $14,276.35 for payment approval for the 2024-2 CCMG and a lot of other mnemonics there. Construction administration.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
A second for discussion. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Haas and Associates invoice 10, $9,273.65 for payment approval for the 2024-2 CCMG. Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Beach Garden Club, their June 21st garden walk. They provided us with their special event request. And I also have a copy of their certificate of liability insurance. Anita, myself, and the chief met with members of Garden Club, and I think we talked about all of the issues that they needed to handle, and they've got plenty of volunteers to direct traffic. They've got volunteers at every home. They've got insurance for $1 million indemnifying the town of Long Beach. They're not selling any food or drink. I don't see any reason not to approve. This is not a town event. It's all the garden club, so they'll rely on their insurance or homeowners insurance or whatever. And they're hiring 2 reserve officers for 6 hours to also help them direct the traffic and get people around to these 8 homes. So I would make a motion to approve.
And second that.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Sorry to keep you ladies here so long.
I had a quick question. I've had a few people ask me about tickets. What do I tell people? Like, where do they get tickets?
The current plan right now is we're working on getting an EIN number so that we can use credit cards, and we have a brand new website that we're still working on. They're going to be for sale at the girls.
Can you come up to the podium just so it's recorded? Okay.
Sure. Hi. I'm Carrie Nolan, 2711 Floral Trail, president of the Beach Garden Club. I'm here with 3 members with me tonight. We have Ellen Lynch, Mary Beth Rebido, and Leslie Meyer. And as far as tickets, I just said we are working on getting an EIN number so that we can use credit cards. We're hoping that works. We've just developed a brand new website. It's not quite finished yet. We're going to have the tickets for sale at the girlfriend sale, all of them. We'll have representatives there selling the tickets. And of course, in the Lakefront Living magazine, I'm going to be on the cover in May.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Community Center Room 3 improvements. Chief?
Oh, you can go ahead, Natay. I know, she gave it right to you, so you go for it. You go for it. You're on a roll tonight.
The room 3 at Community Center is currently available for rent, and we do have a potential tenant. However, there is some information that we need to verify before moving forward with executing that lease agreement. In the meanwhile, there are some renovations that could be done to that room. These renovations previously in other rooms have been paid for by the town. So it is the recommendation of the Community Center Management Committee that we move forward with the removal of the existing heating unit that is in that room and modifications to fill the hole, the void that will leave in the wall. That's at the cost of $2,750. Then the other recommendation is that we paint the room. The estimate for that is approximately $1,500. And then new carpeting in the room. The carpeting would be the same carpeting that we just installed in room 12. It would be identical for $2,565. However, there may be an additional $500 for the removal, so approximately $3,065 for that. So the recommendation is to allow the committee to move forward with those 3 renovations, and that it would be covered as part of their annual capital expenditure request for the community center, of which they have an operating budget of approximately $80,000 this year. So this would be well under and within their operating budget. So that is our recommendation, to move forward with those 3 renovations at this time, not to move forward with the electrical renovations. That would be determined once we have determined the potential tenant.
Okay, so that's carpeting, paint, and removal of the heating unit.
And the repair of the wall afterwards, yes. And the covering of the chalkboards.
And the covering of chalkboards.
So that total is $6,815, but because there may be the additional 500, we're looking, for that may or may not be. So, I mean, having sat in on the meetings and seen what the upgrades do, I would make a motion that we move forward with the 3 separate items, the carpeting, the paint, and then the heating modifications that includes removal of the boards covering the chalkboards.
And we'll also confirm with Clerk Treasurer Collins that the funds are available prior to moving forward with these expenditures.
I would second any discussion.
You would, I mean, no matter who would come in there, you would do this anyways, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good, it needs to be done no matter who rent this to.
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
And this puts us ahead of schedule in the timeline, getting the contractors in, getting the work done, because the potential client that we have now wanted to move in July or August, and we're working through some questions with the Michigan City area schools if this in fact tenant can move in. So once we get an answer, it could be 3 weeks yet.
Okay.
So, but yes, correct.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. This is where I wrote Falatovics invoice, leaf removal for 2024 for $18,000. This is the removal of the leaves from the town maintenance center? Is that
correct? From the fall cleanup, they have since gone in and this spring removed all of the leaves that were collected last fall. This is an annual contract that we have with them, and they also have not increased the price. They have maintained their cost as previous years, so it's a recommendation to approve, and the funds will come from the leaf collection fund.
I would move to approve.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. Resolution number 2025-003 regarding the annual contract uploads and affirmations to Indiana Gateway.
So the Department of Local Government Finance issued a memorandum in January of this year to inform all political subdivisions, which is us, of the process for affirming the contract uploads for the fire and EMS services. So the resolution before council authorizes myself as the council's delegate for the purposes of submitting this affirmation. And the resolution is retroactive to the date that I actually already submitted for the year, which was February 28th. And the affirmation was due on March 2nd. So this is just a procedural necessity for me uploading this each year going forward, I believe.
Okay, I would move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Approval to hire street department driver laborer, recommended hourly rate of $24 an hour. Chief.
Last year on December 14th, we hired a new driver laborer for our street department. That individual has resigned their employment as of April 1st, so therefore we are in need of a driver operator laborer for our street department. As the council is aware, our street department is part of our public works team. We're both our water department and street department. We have a total of 4 full-time employees. So therefore, we are short 1 full-time employee currently. We had opened up the application process on Indeed and ZipRecruiter. We received roughly about 30-plus applications. One of the applications that we have received, and is the individual that we'd like to recommend tonight for hire, was interviewed by myself, Clerk Treasurer Collins, 3 members of the Public Works team, that being our Water Superintendent Greg Parrish, Assistant Superintendent Austin Ashcraft, and Street Superintendent Tom Dolph. After the interview, it was recommended that we hire Cody Downs. Cody is a LaPorte County resident who is currently employed since July of 2022 with the LaPorte Water Works, with the LaPorte Water Department. Therefore, he has experience with water service taps, utility locates, trenching, operating heavy machinery, operating the dump trucks, the plow trucks, front-end loaders, payloaders, mini excavators, vac machines, all the same equipment that our town currently utilizes. I've already checked Cody's references. He has passed the pre-employment drug screening. All is good, and it is the recommendation of the interview committee to move forward with the hiring process for Cody Downs. He is being offered a salary of $24 an hour, which is within the range of our salary ordinance for 2025. The salary range is on the low end $20, on the high end $26, so therefore we cannot exceed that. He is currently making a little over $23 an hour working for the city of LaPorte, so we'd be offering him $24 an hour to start with us. I would like to recommend the hiring of Cody contingent upon the final reference check with his current employer, which I will hopefully complete tomorrow, because he was notifying them today of his conditional offer to hire with the town of Long Beach.
I would make a motion to hire Cody Downs for the street department.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That would be at $24 an hour.
Thank you.
Good work finding someone, especially with this busy time coming up, so.
Credit goes to our Assistant Water Superintendent, Austin Ashcraft. Austin went out and did some headhunting and actually some recruiting, and was able to talk the young man from LaPorte City to apply here. And yeah, so a big thank you to Austin. He did a great job. So, and the nice thing is, as I indicated earlier, he's going to be able to cross-train from already has water experience, and now he'll be on the street side. So it's a great fit, bringing in that experience and knowledge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Claims approval, Meg.
Town checks, number 21470 is voided, and 21514 to 21587, totaling $239,532.75. Water checks numbers 55235 to 55262, totaling $129,304.16. March payroll of $74,793.82. And I will look for a motion to approve, please.
Move to approve.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Any council comments?
I just want to thank the Beach Garden Club for packing our town council tonight.
Yeah.
We like to see people. Did you find it interesting?
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, everyone.